Good morning, everybody. Mike Vacchi, Princetontrader.com, here with your Friday market webcast. Okay, so, we basically have matching highs, 45.90 area, 45.90, 45.89, 75. They popped it right up to that area. You had Amazon after the bell yesterday. Nobody liked that one, although it's come back quite a bit on the NASDAQ from where the futures went immediately after. You had Apple. So nobody had a lot of fun with the earnings yesterday. And that initially popped the tape and then knocked it down, and they haven't really brought it back. We've been trading in the 70 area basically all night. My issue is this. It's the same issue that I had yesterday. If the bears are going to be relevant, if they're going to press, if they're going to show up today, Sunday, into Monday, into next week, into November, this is the last trading day of October, they need to convert the 9-day. If they can convert the 9-day and then deal with the weekly pivot next week, I don't think there's any dealing with it this week, but deal with the weekly pivot next week and get below that, then you can start to say, okay, well maybe, what do I talk about forever, for a decade, about how the S&P trades? Lower band, middle band, upper band, middle band, lower band. So upper band, middle band, lower band. Lower band, middle band, upper band. Eventually, either as a function of time or as a function of price, we're going to get back to the middle band. So let me break that down. If it's a function of time, it's because we're just going to continue to bleed up and bleed up and bleed up. And since all the middle band really is a 20-day simple moving average, as you shed lower prices, and as we shed these lower prices, you're going to see this green line begin to move dramatically towards price. That's a function of time. Bears have no involvement in that. It's just that they've decided to be awful for 20 days or more. Happens all the time. If it's a function of price, it's because the bears are actively bringing price back in to test this level. That's not going to happen if you can't even take out the 9-day and then take out the weekly pivot. Because, if you're the bears, basically, you have no tape control at all. On a short-term or intermediate-term level, you have nothing. So that's the trick for the bears. So here is the hourly chart. 45.90, 80.75 on the earnings. They took it right back down, and they've bled it a little bit, which is fine. But they didn't take it down with a whole truckload of purpose. And they haven't taken it anywhere that it wasn't already trading. Our opening print for the regular session yesterday was 45.59.75. The low of Globex is 45.59.25. So all they've done is test yesterday's regular open. Wow. Would you like a gold star? So they haven't gone anywhere. It looks great. You're like, oh, okay. Double top. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you said this, said the same thing about 64. And that didn't happen. And then we have, what was this one here? What was this one? Oh yeah, 51s. Everybody got all excited. Did this up, 48. Yeah, whatever. So, like I said, the bears, see the blue line? That's the 9-day. They have to close below here. Don't trade to it. You got to close below it. You got to close below it. You can see the trend line lifting on this hourly chart. Forget about this. Unless you get big news today, this isn't going to happen. I'd love it. It'd be great trade. Great trading. There is more opportunity for traders like myself to make handles on the downside versus the upside right now. Why? Because we're hugging all-time highs. So when it goes up, it just kind of bleeds. Like we were long yesterday, off the open, in and around the 62 area, and it was great. We got our day made. It was fine. I do not like having positions on ahead of Amazon, Apple, any of that stuff, because you're just going to get, to say you're going to get, it's like having a position on ahead of the Fed or ahead of the jobs report. I just don't do it. I don't try to game it. I don't mess with that stuff. And somebody in the chat room pointed out that the 2-minute candle at 4:30 on the NASDAQ futures was an 89-point candle. An 89-point candle. I'm all set. I don't need that in my life. We do just fine. So, that's crazy. But if the bears are going to be relevant, you got to start closing below the blue line. You have to challenge it. You have to make this a two-sided argument. Blowing off a little steam, having people take some profits here or here, it doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot if you just keep making new all-time highs. So the numbers today, very briefly, hourly midband, 72.33. Volume weighted average price, 68. Proprietary moving average and the 5-minute midband, 65. We're trading 68 right now. 72 to 65 is going to be key. It's about 7:55 a.m. Eastern time as I'm doing this. We're flat. We'll see what it looks like when we get into the actual open. All right. Have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic weekend. Be safe. Be healthy. Take care. Trade them well. Come check out the room. Be good. Talk to you Monday.